Welcome back to episode 276 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with my vampire hunting homeboy, Mr. Grizz. Have I ever used that?
No, that's good, dude. That's fucking. I was worried what was gonna happen there, dude. You killed it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. But we're back with another vampire month, hot off the heels of Halloween. Normally we'll do like a straight up Halloween episode, but now that we're live, we figured nobody would have came last night if we recorded on Tuesday, right?
We had a good time last week, though. The costume party with our man EK was a fucking great success. Always a pleasure to have that dude on. If you were here last week, you know how much fun we fucking had, right?
Yeah.
So we had a good time for Halloween. And now we're getting into Vampire Month, dude.
Yeah.
Kind of excited for this.
Yeah. I mean, we've done this before. We covered all the essentials, I would say. Now we're diving in a little deeper, right? We're going to something that a lot of people have never heard of before. People didn't even know that this was on VHS. Apparently it's a hard one to find. I don't think I've ever seen another one with it. But Grizz, I'm going to hit that intro. We'll get into this week's movie. Jesus
I had to put
Christ.
some of that fucking intro in there.
Vampire Hunting the vocoder. Go and say the names. I keep fucking cracking up every time I see Mary Magnum. What a fucking what a hilarious fucking name. Maria Moulton playing Mary Magnum. That is a mouthful.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
This movie,
sure.
dude. What a wild experience that I was not expecting.
What a ride.
A fucking drum and bass filled ride that I truly enjoyed that aspect of it. I will say that the fucking drum and bass got me. I'm a fucking fan from way back, so
yeah,
I could get down. But I was not expecting certain aspects of this film. Let's put it that way to start off.
Yeah, so this has a very similar soundtrack to The Matrix, I would say, right? Some Matrix influence in this one. It is the year 2000 here. Right? Is it 2000? 2001. So that is, that's prime time. I do have the VHS tape here. Has the same cover as the DVD. I got this from a Japanese collector. Funny enough, I had to re-import this into the United States. I have no idea how it got there. This one is something else. It is a vampire film. Jesus is in this. It is not so much a horror movie, more
Jesus
so
is in this.
yeah. It's not a horror movie per se. It's not like Darkness, right? This is something else. I was saying to Grizz, he gave me the look when I said this, but it has a very like Matt Stone, Trey Parker-esque or like early movie feel to it. He's giving the look now. The people's eyebrow. He's gonna call me a fucking jabroni and give me the fucking rock bottom. But I feel like that's what like the comedy is in this. If you've ever seen like Cannibal the Musical or whatever, or something like that. Like I feel like
you're right.
I feel like
it's a similar sensibility. It does.
Yeah. And I feel like, it's the first movie of our Vampire Month, so we might as well start off rather light before we get into some of the other things that we're going to be watching. We have some more very low budget
Interesting
films. We have some extremely high budget films that we're that we're going to do with a very special guest, a first time watch for you, where people are going to say,
just a little fucking heads up.
yeah, do people know that that his nickname is the Hog? I don't know, but I just gave it up.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll
we
find
don't.
out.
Yeah, we got to wait till the in-laws leave before he could come on. But Jesus
loose.
Christ, Vampire Hunter. Grizz, what were you expecting when I said, hey, man, I just got this movie. I'm going to hold it for Vampire Month because we planned this in advance. What were you expecting when I said, hey, we're going to watch this?
The name, I guess I kind of figured it would be maybe something along this lines. But I figured it was going to be more of a horror movie. I figured it was going to be, the homie G, fucking with the robe and stuff, going through and like killing a bunch of fucking vampires. But I thought it was going to be a gnarly, which it is in a sense, but some of that is a little like you're going to see here that like Jesus starts out looking like Jesus, right?
Straight up Jesus.
And then he looks like my fucking cousin Ricky at the fucking end of it. And I'm just like a little confused as to like, what's the modern transition
what's
here
going on? Before we get into that, it's funny because like we used to say like, oh man, there's so many vampire films that we haven't seen, right? That we went through all these things. And like we still find them here or there, right? There's still things that are out there that we haven't, watched or whatnot. But I feel like the vampire film has been underutilized lately. Like I'm sure that there's, ones that we don't know that are out there. But I feel like people like just keep rehashing the old, like, oh, let's go to fucking Nosferatu. Let's go to fucking Dracula. But I feel like you're not getting that. Like to me, like 30 Days a Night was like fucking awesome. Like they took it from the comic book
story.
Yeah, they made something that was different. They're more animalistic and all that shit. Like that stuff is awesome.
I didn't care for, but I do appreciate the fact that it's original. What I want is an original story that features classic vampire. We've talked about this before about like what we like about, classic vampire lore, things that we kind of want those movies to hold true to. So when you get a little bit too far out with like, the animalistic vampires and stuff like that, it's a little bit too far stretched from the classic vampire that I love. But I think within those constraints, there's still a million different stories that you can tell in an original way, and no one's taking advantage of that. It's just like you said, the Nosferatus, the Draculas, they're going to rehash those stories over and over again in different ways.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring, man. And we've both kind of discovered that this genre can be
awesome,
fucking balls to the wall, the best. I mean, we both agree that Darkness is the best fucking movie ever made. And it's a vampire movie. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. We both said like when we first started saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna do like a vampire month and all that shit. We both were saying like, we're not really fans of the genre. Like, yeah, we like Fright Night. Like, everybody likes fucking. It's like a classic '80s movie. I love Salem's Lot, but yet again, like everybody loves fucking Salem's Lot. Like even my fucking parents know Salem's Lot. There's all those movies out there. And I was never like really a fan of the genre, like how I was a fan of like zombie films and slashers where there's like so much. And, like getting into this, it really made me a fan. And now I feel like once we got to the end of this road here, like all the stuff that we have planned for the month, like what the fuck, man? What's going on? Where are all the new modern vampire films? Like if you guys know any, like let us know, because we want to see what's going on in the 2020s now. It's not all
there's a huge like groupings of these vampire movies that we could be covering from the 90s that I've had on tape and stuff like that they are so hit or miss. And it's like, do we take the gamble of covering one of these movies? And it's basically a semi-sexy soap opera with a little bit of fucking vampire kissing and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of that stuff from like, even the video outlaw stuff like Blood Kiss and Addicted to Murder and stuff like that. They're very soap opera. Like the way they look, the acting and shit like that. It's like an in-between from like what we love about shot on video movies and then like professional movies. It's like a weird gray area for me that I don't really understand or get into.
There's that other Tempe Video release, Heartstopper. That's like another
Yeah.
one where it's like, like it's like a reason
People
to have.
crave that tape, dude. People go hard, fucking trying to get that tape. It's tough to find or whatever.
Well,
but
like,
it's not a great movie.
Well, I feel like, the vampire films was like the only genre where you could like pretty much make like a softcore porno and release it through like the regular video store. Especially
they've
all,
been doing
like,
that since the fucking 70s with
well,
vampires.
dude, like all that video outlaw stuff, like me and Sutter Kane Rules, aka Bloody Knife Video. I like always like he'll show me like, oh no, like look at this like outlaw, and I'll be like, dude, softcore porn, dude, torture porn, like strangle porn, like the what is it, electrical
murder.
cords, electrical cord strangler. I'm like, dude, that's gonna be fucking porno. And he like watched it, and you're like, yeah, I guess that's what it was.
Borderline.
Yeah, it's like the wave stuff where it was like fetish videos, like disguised as horror films. You know what I mean? Like where it's, it's like
I don't want to
interesting to
discredit
watch.
that though.
It's like interesting to watch. They're not terrible, but like, do we want to sit here and do an hour podcast on it? Like, it's not really.
And there's movies that I would watch too, like outside of this podcast, that are more like, very cerebral horror movies that are like very tough to watch because of the content that I don't think would be, they wouldn't be fun for this fucking podcast either and shit. So like, but I don't. There's a place and a time for that kind of stuff. I enjoy the fetish porn more than the next guy. I will tell you that, right?
Yeah. But the video outlaw Skinamax stuff isn't for you. Yeah. Now the wave stuff, if you want to, send us some samples, we'll cover some wave tapes, wave videos, right?
Send that shit.
Send those Blu-rays over. We'll promo those. But let's get back to our movie this week, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Jesus Christ.
Story goes here, there's a coven, I guess you would say, of vampires that are hunting lesbians for a reason, and the only person that can stop them is Jesus Christ himself. They do give you a reason why these vampires are hunting lesbians, sort of, not really, but I do find the idea of how they're able to walk in sunlight rather entertaining. It's basically a giant skin graft, which is fucking that's why they're stealing women. I find the synopsis to this movie very similar to a lot of like Legion of the Night and things like that, where you have like the mix of science and like a folklore. You know what I mean? Or science and zombies and all that shit. Like, I like that stuff. I like that idea. I think it's interesting. It's definitely something I've never seen before. I've never seen the skin transplant as like the vampire.
It's original
sunblock.
to say the least. I will give it that at the very most. This is a very original plot. It's executed in a kind of an original way as well. I think I could say, like, this isn't like probably any other movie that we've covered on the podcast. There's a fucking sing-along at one point that really fucked me up. I didn't care for that part much at all, to be honest with
well, Nudist Colony of the Dead.
Okay.
That was a musical.
I love Nudist Colony, right? For me, I fucking hate musicals with a goddamn passion. Like it is one of I would rather watch Star Wars than fucking watch a musical.
What the hell's that mean?
So like,
what kind of shit is that?
But like, for it to work, like the songs have to be like extremely fucking clever and funny. And this one just, I think a lot of the comedy in this movie, just for my taste, fell a little bit flat. So I do understand what you were saying, where it has that like Cannibal the musical feel, but at the same time, it didn't have the same like punch in the comedy areas that I needed it to really drive that home.
Well, I also call you Grumpy Grizz, so let's put the asterisk next to that.
I hate most stuff, bro. I'm not.
I, for whatever reason, found everything hilarious in this movie.
And I knew, and bro, when I originally said, I was like, man, I had a tough time with this movie this week or whatever. You were like, all right, well, let me get into this, and and I was like, you don't even have to, dude. I'm like, dude, you are going to love this. Like the fact that I already don't like it, I know that you're gonna fucking love it. And I didn't even talk to you after that about it until now. You were like, yeah, that's just fucking
Yeah, of
great.
course, I fucking loved it. It's fucking great. Yeah, I like the whole idea where like you have Jesus, he's originally in the whole, Jesus garb and stuff. I think we have a clip of that. Yeah, the beach fight. He looks just like Jesus in the beginning. We're gonna.
That's my
roll
favorite
the clip.
part of the movie are these fucking sexy vampires. This was
So-
like, all right, I'm fucking in.
So you have like this punk-looking priest and another like normal-looking priest going to fetch Jesus Christ, who's at the beach baptizing people because they need him to take care of this vampire problem. But while they're there, they are confronted by a gaggle of ghouls. Yeah, this looks like somebody that you would have dated in high
Jesus
school.
in the dick. Dude, I would date him now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so he's got the robe and everything. He's got the hair, the beard. But yeah, there's
I like
actually a
this
lot
part
of
here. This fucking kick the sand into his face. This is
yeah.
the fucking.
That's the
move.
Matrix pushed back, right? Like they're in the dojo. Look at that. Come
The
on, man.
body of Christ.
Kicking
Pocket
sand in
sand
the
fucking
eye.
gets him with the shit.
I like the kung fu. What do you call that? Fight choreography. Like I think it's well done for
There's
a
a
low
lot of
budget
that.
movie. It's done in like a comedic way where it's not supposed to look like a fucking what's his name, Donnie Yen or whatever. It's not supposed to look real.
Yeah.
So
It's not fucking Rumble in the Bronx, all right? It is what it is. But like, there's a lot of that in this movie. They like really. I mean, when I was pulling clips, I'm like, this is just another fucking fight scene. Like, I already got like fucking 4 of these motherfuckers.
dude, I also
pulled.
love the samurai movies and shit. So I can watch people
has
fighting
that.
all day.
Yeah,
Right? It
you
has
could tell that the dude that made this had to have like been a fucking like old kung fu movie fan for sure, because there's a lot of aspects, even with like the way that fucking the dialogue was just delivered with Jesus and stuff like that. It's very much of those like 70s kung fu movies and stuff.
One thing I want to say though, like in the beginning, we see our first like vampire attack by what's the woman's name? Maxine Shrek, right?
Bro, this is one of the first scenes in the fucking movie, and I am so excited after seeing this scene. This is like a badass black metal music video, fucking like in a movie, and I'm like so fucking into it.
It puts
And
off
then
a vibe, dude. This
It
scene,
does, right? It's more of a vibe than any other part of the fucking movie, and I just wish that this movie had this fucking element to it the entire time, because I would have been in. Dude.
It's very serious. Like it's not a like comedic scene at all. But let me roll that.
This is what the fuck.
So this nurse is like going to her car at night, and she's confronted by this female
She's
vampire.
making it sexy too. That's fucked up.
Yeah, she's like feeling her up as she's doing it. But it has like that thing that darkness has, where like the background is completely black and all you see is like them. She's
And dude, the
dropping
lightning
mug.
strikes that happen. This is like one of my favorite parts of it.
The
This
mug
was
drops
so
and
fucking
shatters. You see like blood squirt.
good. Oh, that and the fucking dude,
The
sign me the fuck up. This is it.
Look, kicking the door closed, throws her into it.
And he steals the bitch's car, dude. I'm just like, man, this is a fucking mood. This
With
is
the music?
evil. Yeah, I'm like, okay, because before it was a little goofy, and then they showed me this, and I'm like, all right, so maybe this movie's gonna have like this like back and forth of like, it's not gonna fully be just a fucking goof troop fucking film the whole time. It's gonna give me these like real, but it never goes back to like this real seriousness of like, this is badass shit right here we're dealing with.
No,
I think it tries, but it doesn't hit that note, man.
Well, there's definitely like something to that opening scene that it's definitely different than the rest of the movie. The tone and the feel, like even the music is very different compared to the rest of the movie. It's an awesome intro for a vampire film. To me, like it's like when Liven like first kills that woman in the gas station in Darkness in the beginning, where like all you see is him biting her. It's all black in the back, and like the blood is coming out, like the music is playing. It's like a very like
It's a perfect
atmospheric.
example of, like,
Yeah.
it works so well.
Yeah. And then it goes.
Man, do this the whole movie.
It goes to a very lighthearted, I guess, tone mood after that, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. But that opening scene is really something else.
But I mean, that's like the horror scene to me in this movie, where the rest of it does shift to more of like this funky action movie that's like set to drum and bass music, you know? And
Yeah.
like it's a weird shift in tone.
Well, like we said, that there's like all this action stuff in it. There's like kung fu fighting and stuff. There's a really funny part to me, and it's funny because of who it is. Jesus is confronted by a group of atheists, and they start coming out of like the van and a Jeep, like a clown car. It's like one after the other.
The
one
atheist. I did like that.
Yeah. We actually have a clip of that. Right, I think that's what this is on the group fight here. It shows some of the action that you're going to be seeing throughout the film. The atheists are straight up early 2000s, late 90s. You hear the fucking techno playing. Is that a Lucky 13 shirt?
I kept trying to see if it was that or if it was a fucking bolt thrower shirt. I was like, man, I couldn't tell. This is in the front shot. It looks like a bolt thrower logo on the front of it.
Or no, is that a Rue Morgue shirt? No, that's a different guy. But as you see, it's Jesus in like the full Jesus garb. Now he's got a short haircut though, fighting just like groups of techno punks of the late 90s.
What happened to his fucking hair? I don't.
Yeah, haircut,
it's not
bro.
Explained.
He's got to blend in more, right? That's the whole thing. Because
they do that whole like shopping scene where he's like trying on all of the fucking outfits. He's like,
dude,
I don't look good in this.
I like that. I like the shopping scene. It's funny. It's like,
I'm sure you did, Mike. I'm sure you did.
Like, hey, like people are gonna kind of fucking recognize you if you're wearing this. This whole thing. You might as well wear a halo on your head.
I guess I understand that. Yeah.
Come on, man. It's funny.
I get it.
See, you needed to watch this with me. We got to start watching these movies together.
It too, yeah.
Yeah, you ever see like when you ever watch a movie and you go to put the closed captions on, and there's like another option for like the English closed caption. You ever put that one on where it gives you almost like a description of what's going on? Like a man walks in the backyard and sits down on his lawn chair. It's like this. It's like this weird. It's like this weird narration that when I first got my TV, for whatever reason, it was like automatic. Dude, it was automatically on. No, I didn't think it was fucked up. I was like watching a show. I think it was the Young Rock show. I'm like watching it and I'm like, what the fuck kind of narration is this? Like, why would they put this on there? It's like really weird. Because it like sort of fit a little bit of like, I guess.
Just way more explanation of what's going on.
Well, like it fit like kind of with like what was going on. Like it could have been. I was like, what the fuck? And I realized it's like another type of closed captioning. I'm going to need to do that for you.
People about what's actually being said. It's just completely different.
Well, dude, I don't know what the fuck it's used for, because it's like so like sparsely put in. It's not like it's going the whole time. That's why like it I don't know. I don't know. But there are like a lot of. Are we going to talk about? All right, go.
Ice cream,
dude. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to lead into.
I knew you had to be. This was the scene that I was like, okay, what the fuck? It's just it changes like tone, kind of so much where it's like this like kung fu movie. It wants to be this horror movie. Then it wants to be this movie where God is talking to him through a bowl of fucking cherry ice cream.
It's so funny.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, so he like goes to, I guess, like a diner or whatnot, and he sits down and he gets just like served, I guess, right? She just like brings it to him. But this is an incredibly funny scine to me. It's a scoop of ice cream talking to him. Is that you, bowl of cherries?
I don't know. I've seen a lot of strange things over the years. You need help, Jesus. I am not forsaken you.
I love this, man. For people listening at home, like, please go to the YouTube and watch this because it's so fucking funny.
I mean, it's legitimately a bowl of fucking ice cream talking to this fucking Jesus at a table.
So there's two things that are important about this. One, he has El Santo, the famous legendary Mexican wrestler, the luchador. Yeah. He's coming to help Jesus Christ.
I did like this. I did like this aspect.
I knew you would like this part.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, he says, call your mother. And he does that at one point. That shit. We don't have that clip, but I wish we fucking did.
He was talking to like the Virgin Mary.
It's like a Virgin Mary statue, and every time she would talk, it would like light up.
Light up.
And it's just like, I haven't heard from you in a while. And like you would see it light up on every. Oh my God, that had me cracking up. This bowl of cherries had me fucking cracking up. But El Santo is fucking awesome in this.
Yeah,
I
do like that guy. That guy is badass. He's a big motherfucker too, man.
He's an ass kicker, right? He falls in love with one of the vampires, right?
Of course.
I really did like that aspect that they had, like El Santo all of a sudden like come into this movie. It's obviously not him, like it's not the real one, but like it brings like a really funny aspect to the movie. Like, doesn't he say at one point to Jesus, like when they first meet, he's like, yeah, don't trust this guy, or he'll have you wrestling midgets at a border town for 10% of the gate or whatever. Like he said,
shit.
Yeah. That really cracked me up. I wonder. I guess they're wrestling fans. We're gonna have to see about that.
I mean, you'd have to be to have a deep cut like that. I mean, in the movie and stuff. So
yeah.
But he definitely made me pop. I was happy to see that character. It did, you know. I wish that there was a movie here that like had him in it. That had like, I'm even cool with this like short hair Jesus and stuff like that. I guess I just wish that it was. Oh man, I don't know. The story itself is just a little bit lacking for me as far as like how it goes through the movie. It's just so much of that, like, here's some techno fucking fighting, and it's a lot of fucking techno fighting.
Well, you don't, first of all, you don't like The Matrix either, right?
Oh God, no, dude.
See,
no,
you don't like any of this
why would
shit.
I watch that? Oh,
because it's great cinema, man. It's awesome
movies,
cinema.
Dude.
I feel like there's a lot going against this for you, like because I know your personal tastes. So this like hits on all the things that like you're not really into.
It was an uphill battle for me. Honestly, once I got into it, I knew that I was like, oh shit, like this isn't what I thought it was going to be. But I didn't like let that, you know, deter my watching of it. I did enjoy a lot of it. But like you just said, it just hits on a lot of notes for me that are just like, are just kind of an immediate turn off for me with most movies. But it did pull me back in with some wrestling stuff and some other, you know, I like the gothic vampire thing. When like the sexy chick in the red suit, when she gets bit, Jesus' homegirl there. Like that's a fun scene on the roof. I think we got that like rooftop fight scene where they're like, you know, like this is another part where you can see like the goofiness of the fighting kind of going down here as well. I mean, look at this shit.
It's more like Matrix fighting and stuff, beating the shit out of each other.
That's not like Matrix.
No. I'm saying just
Matrix,
like
they would have fired their coordinator.
They're like fighting on the roof. She's wearing like the suit, like the fucking, you know, the Trinity looking thing. She gets bit. No.
This is you know, I could get down with some of that, but the fighting, like, I guess is just too goofy in a way. I guess like you just like from that first scene I talked about how serious the mood was. I wish that the mood of this movie was a little bit more serious.
Dude, you're gonna love Blade. You're gonna love Blade.
I'm sure. Dude, I fucking better for all this fucking hype. Can't believe I'm fucking doing this to myself.
There's another funny fight scene in this where they're in the nightclub, where like they have like the one dude who's like he's like scatting up there, but he's doing all like fucking like Obi-Wan Kenobi, blah, 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 Chewbacca, he's saying all Star Wars shit. See, dude, this movie, this is why you knew immediately that like that fucking asshole's gonna love this. As soon as you started hearing the Star Wars fucking
everything
names,
that like turns me off about it is what was going to turn it like you on about this movie.
Yeah.
So it was like just the complete opposite.
Yeah. But they're El Santo and our man Jesus Christ is in a nightclub, and there's a really cool sequence where Jesus like confirms that they're like in some shit here. He looks in the mirror at the crowd of the nightclub, and all he sees is fucking El Santo and the girl, right?
Yeah,
whoever was at the it wasn't Mary Magnum, no, right? Because it was really just El Santo and him fighting all the vampires.
Yeah. There was that, like, I can't remember her name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. But dude, this scene though in the nightclub where he starts like drumming, And then he just fucking starts taking out all the fucking audience with like the fucking pieces of wood and
The
shit.
drumsticks? Yeah, man. This is fucking awesome. He's like scoping out the crowd. He throws a drumstick right through the fucking guy in the front row. Look at this. He's got all the fucking the stakes and everything.
Yeah, like what the fuck are those things, dude?
Yeah, dude. Look, there's your blood. Look, there's your gore.
Oh,
He's
look at the gore! Finally, you're right.
That guy looks like what's his name from fucking Video Violence, playing the fucking piano.
Oh my god, the
Fucking
multi-stick throw. That's
awesome.
That's fucking clutch.
El Santo, like I think ripped somebody's fucking head off at one point. I don't know, but
There is an amazing scene with El Santo that we're gonna see here in a little bit that really makes the movie for me, and it happens so quick, but it's fucking beautiful, man.
Dude, I really think that you would fucking like this movie if we watched it together. I think
I
we
think
would
that's
have
probably true for a lot of things because I'm in a better mood if I'm not by myself watching some of this stuff.
I think we would have had a good time watching this because there's a lot of funny shit where like I would fucking just start laughing and it definitely would make you start laughing.
I would probably laugh at you, so it would probably make me like it.
One of the characters that I really liked in this were he's actually in I think he's in the El Santo part at the end. One of the characters that I loved in this movie was the fucking surgeon that was doing the transplants for the vampires. He was so fucking weird. Like at one point he's like talking to the vampires and then he's like back to like the cadaver and he's like kissing it, but he starts like putting his tongue in this person's mouth and it's definitely like a real like a girl laying there, but like it's fucking so gross. He's such an odd character. I love it. It's almost like the fucking the scientist in Hellroller.
Yeah,
the
it's
fucking
similar,
like
but
wacky
he's like
dude.
a surfer scientist. This motherfucker.
He's tatted up. He's got tattoos and shit. He's got one like fucked up eye, like the guy from Mudvayne. I really like this character. I thought it was funny. Like it was like a good like offshoot henchman, associate of the vampires. I thought it fit with the movie. The dude who played him, I think did a great job playing him also.
I hated like this whole like Jesus is in more than one place at one time. Like Jesus is everywhere. Fucking like bullshit they pulled here.
You didn't like this?
Man, I don't know. Like it just seems so like
that's some Dragon Ball Z shit.
That's probably why I don't fucking like it either.
See?
But I do like there is an aspect of this though that I do like where it's like this live like news coverage of this like fucking junkyard battle.
Yet again, something I love.
I knew you'd like. And this is pretty good, but like this is also like just more fighting. I mean, it's really what it comes down to.
Is this thing on? SM58?
There's like happening in the background.
The surgeon? There's the surgeon.
Yeah, there he is.
It's like, oh fuck. He's drinking a beer while he's like fucking operating on something. It's all tweaked out.
He's all pissed off.
Yeah. He definitely likes Prodigy.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus is everywhere. It's such a funny thing to me that like he uses that as like to trick this dude to make sure he could get him get the slip on him.
Because then we have this big showdown, right? And this is like, oh, there's what I forgot about this car scene, man, where they catch Jesus or whatever, and they're gonna fucking tear him limb from limb using like a fucking 98 Pontiac fucking.
It's like they what do they call that? Drawn and quarter?
Drawn and quarter. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh, there's El Santo. There he is.
He's pissed.
Yeah, they got Jesus tied to the thing. They're actually lifting him up, it looks like. Oh my God. I hope there's people doing it. He's pretty ripped. Look at them biceps.
Fucking buff Jesus.
El Santo just breaks through the fucking thing. Yeah,
this is the best part right here, dude. I love this.
He breaks her back.
That is the fucking best part of the whole fucking movie, dude. When he fucking gives that bitch a backbreaker, I was like, all right, where has that been the whole fucking movie?
There's like a really funny thing where he's like where like the vampires are basically like, this is it, Jesus, we're gonna kill you and that's it. And he's like, what's he say? Something to the effect of like, read the fucking Bible or something like that. That's not where the story ends. I thought that was a really funny thing. But there's more to the fight scene, right? We have another clip from that ending fight scene. And this is pretty funny too. Anytime somebody uses intestines as a fucking weapon, I'm goddamn in.
These were just so porny looking. That's the problem I had with these intestines. I want them to be a little gooier. You know?
Yeah.
Show me the goo.
Yeah, we need the goo. They look a little too clean, but the surgeon, the surgeon is fighting Jesus and using the intestines like a lasso type thing, like a Mortal Kombat character.
Bitches again, that fucking guy.
He never.
This is a good punch right here. Uppercut.
Uppercut from upside down, being held. He's also fighting like in a junkyard. I like
it's
this,
in two
man.
places at once because Jesus is everywhere.
It's cut very well. It's edited really well.
It is.
It's for a low budget
the filmmaking itself is great. I will say that. Like it's put together, fucking awesome.
This movie is put together better than fucking most movies that we watch on here. Like honestly, like even though it may not be Grizz's like favorite thing, like it is honestly like an insanely well done movie. Right?
Well shot, good lighting, good fucking sound. I mean, I understand what they were going for. It might not be my thing, but they nailed, I think, what they wanted this movie to be. I feel like it's fully conceptualized in what they put out. It's fucking super well done. It just doesn't hit on all my cylinders. It hits on some of them, which I enjoy those things about it. Like you said, if maybe I watched it with some other people that were, pulling me into it a little bit more, it might have been a different story. But on a singular basis, watching it alone, it's a little tough at times. It's a little, grueling for me to get through, but all in all, there's parts of this and there's aspects of it that I'm just like, dude, these are fucking cool things. The nurse bite, fucking luchadors breaking chicks' backs with backbreakers. I mean, let's just make a movie about those two things. I'm in.
What do you think about like the ending where he gets like stabbed with the stake and they go to like the fucking vampire shadow realm? But the hole where the stake was is like flashing sunlight at them and just like vaporizing them. I kind of like that. I thought that was cool.
It's it just doesn't hit those like horror elements for me enough. I think that's the biggest problem I had with it. I wanted it to be more of a horror movie.
Yeah, you wanted this to be fucking scarier. That's the bottom
100%.
Right.
I think the idea is cool to have this like, Jesus fighting fucking, vampires and stuff, but like make it badass, This just kind of seemed soft for me, whereas I wanted it to be like fucking wild,
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's, it's one of those things where you were just expecting something else. Has nothing, no fault of the movie. You know what I mean? Has nothing to do with that.
There's a lot of great things about this movie, dude. And the number one is how well it's made. So
I will honestly say that most people who listen to this will like this movie. I think most people. Yeah. I think a good 90% of people will enjoy this movie. Like I said, I really don't know anybody else that has a copy of this on tape. You could find the DVD. If you'd like Google this movie, there's like a ton of press about it and stuff. Like I feel like there's like it's not. I don't know. I feel like it's more popular than I thought it was, at least like on the underground. You know what I mean?
The tapes aren't like, there's not a ton of them out there from what you're saying, right? It's like
that's what it seems
scarce.
like. I don't know how the fuck I got
it. It is the end of the, not towards the end. A couple years later, they'd be out of production, tapes in general. But
yeah, well,
2001, they were still pushing them out.
Yeah, that was even like the end of the Polonia Brothers putting stuff out on tape. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's like really the end of a lot of these low budget films doing it. I guess it wasn't cost effective at that point. You were better off doing DVDs now. Especially you see like a lot of things at that time period. There was a lot of like DVD-Rs, things like that. You know what I mean? Where you'd get like a real case with a DVD-R. It's like,
or you buy some of those sometimes.
Or you would get like you get a DVD, but it was just the VHS rip. I mean, some
buy a lot of those still too.
I was gonna say some people are still doing that with the Blu-rays, right? Yeah. I mean, thank God for like Vinegar Syndrome and all those people like actually putting effort in.
A shot.
Yeah. Putting the fucking McPherson tape in 2K for me or whatever.
I like that one. That was actually a fun one.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Shot on video shit, man. There's something about it I just fucking love. That's why you guys were giving me shit about the fucking Hell House quadrilogy now. I just watched the newest one. I really liked it. I think it's just as good as not as good, but slightly worse. Which
it's just so funny because you know me so well. Like in our group, you're telling everybody like, all right, everybody, you're gonna like it. You're like Grizz, don't fucking watch it. You're gonna hate it.
It's a cool Halloween movie. It's like another thing that you can watch on Halloween. Found footage movies. Some people get motion sickness from it because it's like
it's funny.
It's one of those things, but it's got like a cool story to it. I like how everything plays out. The newest one is almost like not a reboot, but like they're going back to what the first one was, like what made it good. You know what I mean? It's pretty unsettling at points, which is cool. I don't normally get fucked up over movies or whatever, but like at certain points, like you find yourself like looking into the background, looking like through like the doorway and stuff, because they do a lot of that shit where like something will like
there, yeah.
Well, like something will like just look like around the corner, and then like and then like it's gone. And like for whatever reason, that I feel like that gets your fucking like your lizard brain's attention. Anytime they have, like anytime they have like little slow like things in the background that you could perceive as danger, you just get that like feeling. Another, I know I'm like going off fucking track here because we didn't really talk about other Halloween movies last week, but another one that like I watched first on that Joe Bob Halloween special, then I've rewatched it, and then I've been telling everybody to fucking watch it. All Hallows Eve, like the original, well, I guess technically in the grand scheme of movies, the original like Art the Clown containing movie. It's actually an anthology, and the fucking like actual anthology movies, there's two that were like made before the movie was created, that like the guy who did it, who came up with it, he like made those and they compiled it into this movie. He made a second one also that they put into the movie. It's pretty fucking unsettling, man. Like it's pretty
I
good.
might check that out if it's an anthology. I might like it a little bit more than I like the Terrifier movies.
You know, it's funny.
For that
I've been hearing a lot from like people that are like in our relative circle or whatnot, and you know, I was guilty at first of being like, you know, like the Terrifier movie is just not for me.
Just
I don't know what it was.
In my opinion, I've watched it. I gave it an honest shot. It's a very hollow fucking story. There's not much there.
My whole thing was I like went back and I rewatched it, and I'm like, kind of enjoyed it this time. Now, like
if you take it for what it's worth, now that you've watched it and you know that you're not going to get some cool fucking story, you're going to get some cool kills, then yeah. I mean, it's like watching Saw. I know I'm going to get some cool fucking kills.
Yeah.
At least the story is pretty fucking
Well,
cool.
the second one, they started like actually building a little bit of lore. They don't really explain
they
much.
They had to, because the first one was complete fucking nothing, dude. It was such a hollow fucking horror film.
Well, the third one is going to be a Christmas movie.
I know. Don't even get me started.
I love that. But All Hallows Eve, it's an anthology. He's in it. What
do you think about like the other anthologies around that time period? Things like the ABCs of Death and stuff like that. Did you ever watch any of those?
I watched that one. That's a movie that I feel like you watch it once and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
I like the shorts, man. I like getting in and out of like the same thing with like VHS and stuff. I thought they were fucking solid.
I like all the VHS movies. I think they're fucking really entertaining. The newest one I think was entertaining. I know some people weren't really into it. It wasn't as good as like, you know, 1 and 2 and shit like that. Like those movies are fucking awesome, but I really enjoy those. What's the other one? There's like another one that's oh fuck. I just watched it recently. It was like Mortuary Tales or something like that. Fucking
I know what you're talking. Yeah,
Clancy, whatever the hell his name is in it.
Yeah.
That was a fucking good one. That one had like a dark ending. Like that was cool.
I like that.
It's one of those things where I feel like I watched a lot of like the classic. I've seen all the classics at this point. I know and have seen most of like the fucking shot on video, like must see depraved shit that's not like actual real fucking gore videos and stuff. But like I've been going through all this new stuff. A lot of the fucking what are those people, like the August Underground stuff, and like those American guinea pig movies are fucking, they're awesome. Lots of new stuff out there that has that same
Unearthed Films, man. Stephen
Yeah.
Byro and Unearthed Films. My
Dude,
hat's off to you, brother.
Like if
You're
we
fucking
could get,
killing it, dude.
I want a partnership with fucking him and them, whatever the fuck you want to say, because there's so like we're definitely going to cover one of those movies in December next month.
I'll reach out to Steven. He'll be happy to come on and fucking talk with us, dude, for sure.
But
He's an
man,
awesome guy.
But man, like there's some fucking new stuff coming out. Jim Van Bever is fucking involved in a lot of this stuff too, which is
wild shit.
which is wild. It just fucking insane. Deathcember is a good one.
This may not have been, exactly my cup of tea. It's a fucking great movie. For everything we did talk about it, I'm not gonna fucking say it's bad at all because it's not like my favorite kind of movie. Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter have its merits. That was this week's movie, so I figured next week, why don't I bring something a little bit different? Maybe I could change things up a little bit for Vampire Month.
All right, what do you?
So I'm gonna bring out the fucking Vampire Vixens from Venus, and we're gonna see if we can have a little fun next week. With that.
We're gonna go light. We're gonna go light.
A little weird.
Yeah. I've never seen this one. I remember this tape being very expensive. Then it wasn't. Now it's like medium. It's like one of those. I'm pumped to do it. Of course, I like watching this dumb shit because it's what we do.
Should be some good creature masks, from what I understand. Some good special effects, good gore. So we should have a good time.
Yeah. This is just the palette. What is it? The palette cleanser or whatever for Blade. Which will be in 2 weeks
forcing me to watch.
On Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BadTasteVideoPodcast. This week we had to do it on Wednesday because of Halloween. But Grizz, we are heading over to the wide world of metal. And what do you have for us this week?
We have a band all the way from Italy. And no, I'm not talking Fulci, but in the same vein, band after my heart and the same sensibilities as Fulci, man. Good classic fucking hook-driven death metal. That is where my love for music truly lies, is in those like catchy fucking death metal riffs with some classic, 90s death metal vocals. And this band fucking Slug Gore delivers, man. And it's an awesome fucking
the video
Texas
is awesome.
Chainsaw tribute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me. I want to just play the first clip, just so they get an idea of what we're talking about. Just give you a little warm up here.
This is BTV fucking, like, this was made for us, man. The fucking shot on video fucking music video.
One dude has hair like he's Fieldy from Korn. Like that's.
It's like, I kept looking at that shit like, wow.
All about that life.
But dude, I even love how the audio quality matches the video.
You got that TCM footage cut there. He's wearing a Fulci shirt.
Yeah, no, I love that.
His vocalist is awesome. I love this style of death metal.
This is it, man. Like that. This is fucking perfect death metal to me. No fucking frills, no added bullshit in production. Just fucking the four guys in the band just fucking nailing it, dude. And like in the next clip we're gonna play here, you're gonna hear like how good they are at like catching that fucking groove and like really playing that catchy riff that you need for that hook-driven death metal that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Did this music video though? How fucking fun is this, man? Dude, as soon as you saw it, you were probably like, "Yes, like this is it."
I love when people do like tributes to like movies or whatnot and music videos or songs, and like this is awesome because they do it in like such a good way. Like their background or whatnot, like pretty much matches, the vibe
great.
of the vibe of everything,
right?
And the music matches like what's going on. You know what I mean? Like it's like a great combination.
And like what I was saying is that like the music quality sounds like it is coming through the shot on video fucking recording of like the video that they did. It doesn't sound like a super polished up version of the song. Like they matched it to the quality of the video, and that makes all the difference to me. Like it really
straight out of
straight
out of 1993. Let's play the second 100%. Clip here.
Get that right there.
Are you a death metal band if half the band doesn't wear long sleeves?
Oh yeah, dude.
Right?
Yeah. You can't
gotta
see
have-
their face 'cause you got
Yeah,
badass hair.
you gotta have like a 2-to-1 ratio, right, of long sleeves. I didn't know that
Dude,
they were
the vocal
Italian
comes
though.
in. Yeah, that dude's vocal is fucking good. God damn.
Dude, this video looks like it was shot by me. Something about that
What more
Euro
can you
death
ask
metal,
for?
man. Something about that Euro death metal. Maybe it's like because there's the filter. You know what I mean? For it to get to us, got to be pretty good. There's something about
That's
it.
true. Only the best of the best actually fucking like find
Make
its
it,
way.
yeah,
but,
make it across the ocean.
but man, this stuff was just great fucking just 90s sounding
kiss.
death metal, man.
Yeah.
Like you just can't go wrong in my opinion. Like some people say, oh, it's just kind of sounds rehashed or whatever. I don't give a fuck. If that's rehashing, then fucking hash me up all day, baby. I'm ready to
You
fucking
love
go.
hash.
That's what I'm
kidding me?
saying. Let's fucking go.
You're the hash homeboy also.
That's
People
right,
forget
dude,
that.
right, homie.
Yeah, so you can find the video on YouTube. Is the actual track on Spotify? Yeah, right. You can probably
Yep.
find that.
On Spotify, they actually have a full album they just put out this year. Also,
Oh, shit.
fucking check it out. What
Nice.
the fuck is the name? Extraterrestrial Gastropod fucking mollusk is the name of the album. So
I love these guys.
would
I
highly
love them already.
I guess like part of their whole thing is like like their main like vocal like or their like lyrical content is about like underground death worms and shit like that is like their main focus.
They're like Doom.
I just love that. That's what
Yeah.
they mostly sing about.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, definitely check them out. I love
Tremors,
this.
man.
I love this stuff, man. This is like right. This is our shit,
Hits
man.
home.
This is
Oh, yeah.
yeah. This is the best. Grizz, I wanted to ask you also before we finally leave Halloween for good. Did you watch anything specifically for Halloween?
I
know
did
you.
watch.
I know you
Scared
usually
Stupid.
like. Yeah, me too. Of course, classic. Every year
Day
since I was
Different.
born,
Yeah, you know.
have to do it.
And that, you know, I ended up. I don't even want to admit this,
It's okay.
but I fucking watched Scream again. You know, I was like, it's been a long time,
There's nothing wrong with it. Gets better with age.
and you know what? I think it does get better with age, man.
Yeah.
I did not like Scream for the long. Like you could have asked me last year. I've been like, fucking Scream's a horrible movie.
Yeah, you were making
I'm
fun
wrong
of me.
about that.
You
bro.
were making fun of me for my Scream prints in the basement.
I was. You're right, and you are still a nerd for that. But I, still, I will say that no, dude. Honestly, after rewatching it and like maybe I was like the perfect amount of high for it or something, where I'm just like it clicked, and I'm like, dude, this is.
I get it.
It's a love letter to fucking horror movies.
Yeah.
I love the inside fucking jokes. Wes Craven fucking kills it. I can't say much about the sequels, but that original fucking Scream, dude, it's a solid movie. I'll watch
Yeah.
it again next year.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't watch Soul of the Demon, man? Come on. That's a fucking Halloween
I'm a
must.
fucking poser, dude.
I watched that shit. You're the poser. You call me a nerd? Who didn't watch Soul of the Demon, man?
Fucking way fucking bigger nerd.
Harry Potter, motherfucker. Harry
I
Potter
did watch
homeboy.
Harry Potter. I watched fucking Prisoner of Azkaban, and it was fucking awesome, dude. It's, there.
Did you get that in a free DVD from the 7-Eleven, from the rack?
It was $1, dude. It was
The
fucking
Prisoner
stoked.
of Azkaban. Jeez. I always watch Ernest Scared Stupid. I ended up watching Hocus Pocus last night. That's another.
There you go.
That's another Halloween movie. Soul of the Demon. I watched All Hallows Eve again. Haunted Ween. I watched.
Oh, I watched Scary Movie yesterday.
Oh yeah, of course.
Before Halloween, so the
Dude,
pre-Halloween watch.
there's another podcast that I'm not going to mention right now, but they covered Scary Movie, and I love this podcast. I've been listening to them for years. Like 10 minutes in, they're ripping on Scary Movie the whole time. I am like, yeah, I can't listen to this anymore. I'll still listen to the podcast, but I couldn't listen to the episode. I'm like,
Send
I'm
them
turning
my
this off.
way, bro. It's going down.
No, and they're usually spot on with like their
Podcast wars.
yeah, like they're usually spot on with their
Yeah.
commentary or whatever, like their reviews and whatnot. But this one, they just fucking.
They missed the boat, man.
I was like, what the fuck? Also, they even like I have to also like I have to weigh my judgment of things because I like a lot of shit that a lot of people don't like. There's a few people who like are spot on, like Sutter Kane Rules and fucking EK. Like we like the same shit, but man,
The only thing you don't like is April Fool's Day, bro. Like, you like everything else.
and I don't know, man. I wasn't digging Run Bitch Run. I don't know. That wasn't my.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like that one. That was true. That was a fucking
Yeah,
great
that's
movie,
not
man.
my. I'm not into that
You
thing.
missed out on that one.
But everybody, you know, they you're entitled to like what you like. But Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for the first week of Vampire Week. Vampire
fun
Month.
times.
Sorry. We will be back here live next week, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time on youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. You can find everything else that we do at www.badtastevideopodcast. I want to thank all our patrons. You guys are awesome. You could go there and see some things that maybe you can't find on the internets. Don't sue us, please. Just tell us, we'll take it down or whatever. But thank you, everybody, for subscribing there. Grizz, where could they find you specifically on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video. Yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We had a great time. I loved Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Fucking awesome movie. Next week, we're going to be coming back with, what is it? Vampire Vixens from Venus?
Vixens from Venus.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to have Blade. I guess we could tell everybody what we're doing, right? It don't really matter.
Yeah.
We're going to have Blade, and then we're going to have fucking Vampire's Embrace at the end of the month, if you're familiar with that tape. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. I can't wait. Like always, you know, it's a good time coming on here, doing it live, a lot different, lot more stressful on my end now.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm like always wondering, is my computer gonna fucking blow up one day?
Right.
But yeah, we got
It's
a
not
lot
smoking
of good.
yet, so
No, this old the fucking workhorse over here. I got to update one day soon. But we got a lot of cool things coming up. I floated an idea to Grizz to do possession movies in December for our holiday month. Let us know what you think about that. Like, we'll do some fucking
Songs of Solomon is a must, dude.
yeah, we're gonna do shit like that. Maybe we could do like I don't know. We'll do some Exorcist ripoffs maybe.
You should cover that new one everyone's fucking talking about, dude. Everyone's fucking jocking that motherfucker, saying it's so good.
The new Exorcist?
There's some new Exorcist movie out.
Oh, the Pope's Exorcist? With
Yeah.
fucking Russell Crowe? No. Well, I don't know, but I liked it. I thought that was a fun movie.
You got a big Crow fan? You know?
Hey man, it's a fun movie. It's a good watch. The new
You watched it
Exorcist. Yeah, fuck yeah, I watched that, man.
Wow.
Kyle watched. He liked that one too. He thought it was fun.
that's
Also known as Kyle Cub in our chat here. I don't know which one you're thinking of. Exorcist Believer got panned. That fucking new one as a piece of shit. But
Perfect. I'm probably gonna love it, dude.
we're not going to cover that shit unless it's free. I ain't paying for that. But there's some other things out there that we could do because we never really cover movies like that, right? We never really do possession films.
Dude, you know what my all-time favorite possession film is? And we should honestly fucking put it on the list to cover because it's so fucking great. Is the fucking? Is it like the Emily Rose one? The fucking? Is it the Haunting of Emily?
Yeah, that's The Haunting of Emily
Dude,
Rose.
you've never fucking seen that movie?
I think I did. I think I've watched that recently.
Bro,
I think we'd like just watched that.
That movie fucking rules, man. Her like contortions and fucking dude, that
You ever see the Taking
great
of
one.
Deborah Logan? You ever see that one?
that's another fucking great one. These movies, dude, that's when you said possession, I was like, I'm all the fuck in. That's my I love anything fucking evil, occultish, fucking Satan, devils, possession. Dude, I'm fucking in. Let's fucking go December, dude.
Yeah, December's gonna be wild. We're gonna piss on your Christmas. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's right.
It's gonna be a real downer month for everybody.
I love it, dude.
But thank you everybody for coming. We're gonna see you next week with Vampire Vixens from Venus on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time on our YouTube page. You can find everything we do at our website at www.badtastevideo.com. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you to all our friends, the Laser Graves podcast, Dead with My Friends podcast. Thank you guys for being great. We will see you next week with a hopefully wild film. Goodbye.